We are 8 days away from the start of the regular season, but I hear there is a new sensation. It's sweeping the nation. It's Windy's Tower of Power. So what happens here is we're going to throw around the term top five. We do it all the time, right? Especially when it comes to the Knicks. But Windy is here to put it all on the record, set us straight. I've been told you are taking on the ranking of the top NBA offenses this season, Brian. Take it away.
Yeah, you can nitpick with these, Malika, of course, but I went with the Phoenix Suns at number 5. Now, look, they were 10th last year, and I almost think that was as low as they possibly could have been. And it was kind of spoke to, some of the dysfunction they had running their team last year with no true point guard. They had Grayson Allen, who was the best three-point shooter in the league. He's back under a new contract and back. And they added a couple of really good point guards in Tyus Jones and Monte Morris. I think they'll be better organized. I think they'll be healthier. And I think they'll be in the top 5. At number 4, another team that made a big offseason acquisition, and that's the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
The Dallas was awesome on offense last year with the exception of their three-point shooting. There were times where their three-point shooting wasn't as potent as it could have been. They went out and added one of the best three-point shooters of all time in Klay Thompson. I think he's going to have a big offensive year. I don't know how they're going to necessarily be defensively this year with their changes, but I think Klay's going to hit a ton of threes and they're going to get even better. At number 3, one of the most efficient teams in the league, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I think they could be top 3 in offense and defense, which is really the pathway to being a championship contender. You've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's one of the best players in terms of guards at getting into the paint and scoring efficiently in the league. Obviously, they have great depth. Jalen Williams looks terrific coming off offseason to work on his game. And one thing I want to point out, Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein are 2 guys who are going to help their offense because they're going to get steals and rebounds and give them more efficiency and more transition opportunities. At number 2, the Indiana Pacers, who have really been the number 1 offense in the league for most of the last season. They slowed down a little bit when Tyrese Halliburton had all those issues with his hamstring. But boy, does this team play blazing fast. They're going to play at high tempo, high speed. They're going to throw the ball ahead. And Pascal Siakam, he joined them mid-season last year. Now that he's had the entire offseason to get ready, I think he'll be even better. But the number 1 team, the team that's been extremely impressive in the preseason, the Boston Celtics. Now, I could sit here and tell you that Jaylen Brown has looked great, and I think that this is the year that Jaylen Brown is going to, go over 50% from the field, which is what he's been sniffing. I could tell you that Jason Tatum's jumper looks better. His three-point, he's averaging over 40% so far in the preseason. But one of the reasons why I'm so impressed with the Celtics, their backups. Have you seen Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser shoot it in the preseason? They are killing it. There is going to be no fall off in their offense if those guys keep it up. I think they're going to be dynamic on the offensive end. Watch out for a repeat.
Brian, I'm going to extend the same courtesy that we extend to Perk on his list. But David's making this, and I'm wondering, David, if you have the same critique I do of Mr. Windy's Tower of Power here.
Malika, you sat next to me, who was sitting next to Windy when he said that the Knicks could be the best offense in the league this season. We didn't even get the Knicks in the top 5. I feel so misled here. I thought that pick and roll was unstoppable. I went and told all my friends, Brian Windhorst told me that the Knicks would be number 1, and now they're not even in the top 5. What's going on?
Let's see.
Hey, they could be number 1. They could be number 30. I mean, all things are possible. But listen, the team that Windy left out, the Milwaukee Bucks. They were just on the cusp of the top 5 last year. And look, Dame and Giannis, full year working together, training camp under Doc Rivers. And Dame has told us you are going to see a much better version of him this year. I believe him.
I'm with David Dennis Jr. I'm sitting right there, Brian, when you said the New York Knicks. I'm surprised not to see them.
In all honesty, the reason I don't have him in there is I'm a little bit worried about their depth and injuries. And I'm a little bit worried if they have one of their guys go down for any period of time, they won't be able to keep that up. That's why I didn't put him in there. But no doubt they could be. And like I said, you could nitpick with that, who I've got at 4 or 5 without question.
Yeah, you're sounding like when I was growing up and I would say, Grandpa, can I? And he says, well, you could, but the question is, may you? All right, Brian. Let's go to number 4 on your list there. The Dallas Mavericks. They have been without Luka Donic this preseason. What's the plan for when we will see Doncic first here, Tim?
You will not see him tonight when all those toilets are flushing in the new Intuit Dome. You might see him Thursday against the Bucks, which is the quote-unquote dress rehearsal preseason finale for the Mavericks. You will certainly see him for the regular season opener, the 24th against the San Antonio Spurs. He's progressing, no concern whatsoever about whether he'll be ready to roll when the games start to count.
And that is when it matters. Luka Donic should be good to go to start the regular season here. Moments ago, though, LeBron James, he spoke at the Lakers practice ahead of heading out on their final preseason road trip here. Let's take a listen to LeBron.
It was everything and more. I was super excited to be able to finally team up with him, you know, in a win or die type atmosphere, and that's what it was. You know, being a part of the Olympics, and it was everything that I dreamed of and aspired to want to be a part of that team along with Steph. Great memories, something that I remember from my basketball career for the rest of my life for sure.
And the circumstances of you with the Lakers and with the Warriors, like, do you think, could it ever happen again?
What?
You guys be teammates?
Oh, I have no idea.
All right, so that was LeBron James moments ago being asked by our Dave McMenamin about playing with Steph Curry in the Olympics. Mr. Windhorst, you were with this team in Paris. What do you make of what we just heard from LeBron?
Well, they're going to Phoenix to play an exhibition game tomorrow. That's why he's being asked about playing with Durant. He also played with Devin Booker. He was extremely successful alongside Devin Booker. LeBron has signed a 3-year contract with a no-trade clause, so keep that in mind. Also keep in mind the Warriors tried to trade for him last year, and he just spent a summer thriving alongside Steph Curry and playing for Steve Kerr. So he said, I have no idea. If you want to say he said the word no, I guess, but that's one of those things that people always talk about, certainly if the Lakers have any troubles this season.
Yeah, they play the Warriors on this road trip and the Suns on this road trip, so that's why all this is coming up again, David.
Yeah, if we know one thing about LeBron James is he's never going to put this to rest. He's going to enjoy all the talk, all the hubbub, all the social media partnerships, and all the high fives that they did, and it's going to feed into the noise. If for nothing else, to keep the LA Lakers front office on their toes, but also feed into, you know, the excitement about it. I was excited about seeing Steph and LeBron in the Olympics. I was hoping that we could see more of that. And I think the guys like really, truly, genuinely enjoyed that time together, whether they'll have it again or not.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Keep them down and try to wear, I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA, it's 2 and 5.